Hello, my lovely kids. With you, Mrs. Rock. You're missed a lot. Today, we are going to take a new vocabulary lesson. Unit 6, Lesson 1. The title of this unit is Remarkable People. So what do I mean by remarkable people? I mean by that people who are unusual or special in a way that makes other people notice them and be surprised or impressed. Okay, like here in the picture we have five of the most inspiring leaders of all time, like Abraham Lincoln, Albert Einstein, Nelson Mandela, Bill Gates, and Oprah Winfrey. And what is the synonym of the word remarkable? Astonishing. Okay guys, now we are going to study together the new vocabulary of this new lesson with the definition of each one of them with examples to help you to put each word in a sentence. So let's start. The first word is observe. Observe. Observe is a verb. So what do I mean by observe? To watch and notice something carefully. For example, the patients were observed over a period of several months. The second word is species. Species. It's a noun. What do I mean by species? A group of plants or animals with the same type. I mean similar. For example, many insects choose certain tree species for feeding. The next word here is shell. Shell. It's a noun. Look here at this picture. The snail has got a shell. What do I mean by shell? The hard outer part of eggs, nuts, some seeds, and some animals. For example, the snail went back into its shell. Next, what can you see here in this picture? Specimen. Specimen. Noun. What do I mean by specimen? A single example of something, especially an animal or a plant. For example, Marty collected a plant specimen for scientific research. And what is the synonym of the word specimen? Sample. What do I mean by sample? A small amount of something that shows what the rest of it is like. What can you see here in this picture? Okay, I can see here some people who are praying. So what is the word? Religion. Religion. It's a noun. What do I mean by religion? The belief in the existence of a God. For example, is there always a conflict between science and religion? What do I mean by conflict? Argument. Next, what can you see here in this picture? What is the name of this insect? Beetle. Beetle. Noun. What do I mean by beetle? An insect, often large and black, with a hard case on its back covering its wings. And we have so many kinds of beetles. For example, a black beetle and a dung beetle. Okay, what can you see here in this picture? Yes, a sheep. What do I mean by traveling from one place to another by sea? Okay, using for example a ship. I mean by that a voyage. Voyage. Noun. What do I mean by voyage? A long journey, especially by sea. For example, okay, The Titanic sank on its maiden voyage. What I mean by here, its maiden voyage, it's the first journey. Next, look here at the girl. She likes that boy. She admires him. So I have here the verb admire. What do I mean by admire? Okay, to think someone is good or clever. To love someone, adore someone, or respect him and her. For example, you have to admire the way he handled the situation. And what is the opposite? The antonym of admire is to dislike or hate. Guys, what can you see here in this picture? I can see here the remaining parts of a dead dinosaur. So the word here is fossil. Fossil. It's a noun. What do I mean by fossil? The parts of a dead animal or a plant that have become hard and turned into rock. For example, fossil fuel like oil and petrol comes from dead animals died a long time ago. Next. Okay, who is that man? He is Albert Einstein. He was a great scientific genius. He was very smart and intelligent. So the word here is genius. Genius can be used as a noun or an adjective. What do I mean by genius? An exceptionally intelligent person. I mean smart or clever. And the antonym is stupid. For example, he was a man of great genius. Another example, a genius idea. I mean a clever idea. Okay guys, what can you see here in this picture? I can see here, okay, many players who do different kinds of sports. So what do I mean by a player? Athlete. Athlete. Noun. I mean by athlete a person who is proficient in sports and other forms of physical exercise. For example, the athletes are training hard for the Olympics. Next, what can you see here? I can see here a biologist. Biologist. Noun. What do I mean by biologist? A scientist who studies biology. Biology is the scientific study of the life and the structure of plants and animals. For example, she's a research biologist for a pharmaceutical company. What I mean by pharmaceutical company? A company connected with making and selling medical drugs. Okay guys, what can you see here in this picture? I can see here different kinds of musicians. And the singular of musicians is musician. Musician. Musician is a noun. What do I mean by musician? Okay, a person who plays a musical instrument or writes music. For example, the competition recognizes talented young musicians. Next, okay, what is the job of that man? He is a lawyer. Lawyer. Lawyer is a noun. A lawyer is a person who represents people in a court. A court is a place where the crimes are judged. Okay, so that man, he represents people in a court of law or advises them on legal matters. For example, she has built a reputation as a top criminal lawyer. Okay guys, what can you see here in this picture? I can see here a politician. Politician, it's a noun. What do I mean by a politician? Politician is someone who is active in government, usually as an elected official. I mean here someone people have voted to choose him or her to work for their government, to control
or rule their country, like the president. For example, a journalist who exposed corrupt politicians. What do I mean by exposed? Revealed or showed something that was hidden. Corrupt politicians, I mean politicians who are willing to use their power to do dishonest or illegal things in return for money or to get an advantage. Next. Who is that man? He is William Shakespeare. He was a very famous writer. So I have here the word writer. It's a noun. What do I mean by writer? Someone whose work is to write books, poems, stories, etc. For example, she left her job to become a full-time writer. Next. What can you see here? I can see here a notebook and someone has made some notes, writing the number of the pages he is going to study for his test, for his exam. So I have here note. It's a noun. What do I mean by it? A short piece of writing to help you remember something. And the verb that comes with note is make. Make a note. Like while you are listening to your teacher, you are going to make notes in your notebook, writing the number of the pages that you are going to study, the number of the pages of your homework, writing a difficult question you are going to ask your teacher about it at the end of the session. Write a word that you are going to look it up in your dictionary, and so on. For example, please make a note of the dates.
Okay, look here at this picture. Why this girl is sad? This girl is sad because her mother is neglecting her. She is ignoring her. Her mother is chatting with her friends and she doesn't pay any attention to her. So I have here the verb neglect. What do I mean by neglect? To not pay enough attention to something or someone. And the synonym of neglect is ignore. And the antonym of it, the opposite of it, is to care. For example, she has neglected her studies. Next. Okay, what is he doing? He is doing an experiment. So I have here the word experiment in the science lab. It's a noun. What do I mean by experiment? A scientific test that is done in order to study what happens and to gain knowledge. And the verb that comes with it is do an experiment. For example, many people don't like the idea of experiments on animals.
Now we are going to answer the classwork in your booklet. Before checking your answers with me, I want you to pause the video for 5 minutes and answer these exercises alone, and after that play the video again and check your answers with me. Number 1. Supply the missing letters. I'm going to give you a sentence, and in each sentence I'm going to give you a word, only the first letter of this word, and you're going to complete it according to the meaning of the sentence. Number 1. We this plant closely for a few weeks. So what is the answer? What is the word that starts with O? Excellent. Observed. We observed this plant closely for a few weeks. Number 2. The ship is not fit for an ocean what? And it starts with V. Excellent. Voyage. The ship is not fit for an ocean voyage. 3. There are lots of what? Of animals, and it starts with S. Excellent. There are lots of species of animals. I mean many kinds of animals of the same type. 4. Some students what their studies in favor of sports. Excellent. Neglect. They ignore their studies in favor of sports. 5. Charles Dickens is the what of Oliver Twist, and this word starts with W. Excellent. Charles Dickens is the writer of Oliver Twist. 6. Astronauts have brought back what of rock from the moon, and it starts with S. Excellent. Astronauts have brought back specimens of rock from the moon. Exercise 2. Choose the correct answer. Number 1. The book explores the relationship between shell, beetles, religion, and civilization. Excellent. Religion. The book explores the relationship between religion and civilization. Number 2. He is a noble man. We all him. Admire or hate or dislike. Excellent. He is a noble man. We all admire him. 3. The what has got powerful muscles. Writer, athlete, lawyer. Excellent. The athlete has got powerful muscles. Let's continue. Number 4. You need a musician or athlete or lawyer to speak for you in the court. Excellent. You need a lawyer to speak for you in the court. 5. Albert Einstein and Isaac Newton were great scientific, stupid, geniuses, political. Excellent. Geniuses. Albert Einstein and Isaac Newton were great scientific geniuses. Exercise 3. Write the synonym and antonym. What I mean by synonym? I mean the word that has the same meaning. The antonym, I mean the opposite. Number 1. Admire. What is the synonym of admire? The synonym of admire is like or adore. They have the same meaning, like admire. The antonym, the opposite of admire, is dislike or hate. Number 2. Genius. What is the synonym of a genius? We have here 3 words: intelligent or clever or smart. What is the antonym, the opposite of a genius? Stupid or idiot. The last one here, number 3, neglect. What is the synonym of neglect? Ignore. What is the antonym, the opposite of neglect? Care. Now it's your turn. After studying the words with the definitions and the examples, and try to put each word of them in your own example, and revising the classwork with me, it's your turn to answer the homework. After answering the homework, play the video again to check the answers. Number 1. Who am I? I'm going to give you a sentence, and from the sentence you're going to guess who am I. Number 1. I am proficient in sports and other forms of physical exercise. So who am I? Excellent. Athlete. Number 2. I study life and work in biology. Who am I? Excellent. Biologist. 3. I am active in government and an elected official. Who am I? Excellent. Politician. 4. I write books and novels, and the most famous book is Macbeth. Who am I? Excellent. Writer. 5. I play many musical instruments. Who am I? Excellent. Musician. The last one, I represent people in a court of law and defend them. Who am I? Excellent. Lawyer. Let's continue. Exercise 2. Choose the correct answer. Number 1. Lamis walked on the beach and collected sea what? Ships or shells or showers? Excellent. Lamis walked on the beach and collected sea shells. Number 2. He loved insects as a child. Tigers or sparrows or beetles were his favorite. Excellent. He loved insects as a child. Beetles were his favorite. 3. We are going to make notes, sounds, dinner about all the insects we see in this part of the garden. Excellent. We are going to make notes about all the insects we see in this part of the garden. As I told you, make notes. Number 4. Darwin is known as the father of modern archaeology or biology or technology. Excellent. Darwin is known as the father of modern biology. 5. The last one. Fossil or flame or flood fuel is like oil and petrol comes from dead animals died a long time ago. Excellent. Fossil fuel like oil and petrol comes from dead animals died a long time ago. Now we have finished, guys. I want to thank you all for listening to me. I want you to study hard. Goodbye, my lovely kids. See you soon. Stay safe. Don't forget that I love you. You are the best. Goodbye.